The People Station, V103, the ATL's #1 for hip-hop, R&B, and throwbacks. The Big Tigger Morning Show with Jazzy Mcbee and me, Frank Ski, sitting in for Big Tigger and Jazzy.
Yes.
I just want to let you know, because she reminded me, the first time she did a radio interview for Slutty Vegan was right here with me in this studio right now. And now that she's doing the second go-round with Slutty Vegan, the first interview is right here with me, Frank Ski, on V103. Miss Pinky Cole is here.
Pinky Cole.
Good to see you, sis.
Hey, family.
It's good to be seen.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
I know that's right.
So you had this major accident.
I did.
And it like almost changed your life.
Yeah, I feel like God was telling me I need to get some rest.
Yeah, slow down.
Yeah, I was driving on 75 South in the middle of the highway, 70 miles an hour, and I'm driving in the Bentley, so I'm cool. I'm like, all right, I'm good. Driving 70 miles, and out of a white truck, a king-size mattress flew off the truck and hit me in the middle of the windshield. And mind you, this is the first time I wasn't on the phone, I wasn't texting, I wasn't doing nothing. I literally was just thinking about my life. I was just driving like, all right, what I got to do next? I'm thinking about all the things, because, you know, we always just so worrisome with things, with life, right? And then that bed hit me, and it felt like my life flashed before my eyes. And I'm like, you know what? I got to get still. I got to get really still. But that was the best thing that could have happened to me, because it put life into perspective while I'm worrying about, like, all of the elements, all of the variables in business. I'm like, I could have lost my life today, and I wouldn't be here. So, you know, God is good. God is better than good. So,
And it's crazy, because we were just talking to Marseille Martin, and we were talking about us not really celebrating like the small and even the big wins, because we're always looking to what's next, and we don't relish in that moment at a lot of times. So I'm glad you said that, because it reminds us that we need to slow down, right, before God make us take a break.
Okay, before
right?
God throw a mattress at you.
That part. But I'm so glad that you're okay, because I saw that when I was scrolling through Instagram, and you posted that. I was like, oh my God, I'm just thankful that you're okay.
Thank you.
But like you said, you took a moment and you said, God, okay, I see what you're doing.
I needed that, though.
Okay.
And everybody needs to get that reset and that rest. And I don't think that we do it enough, especially as entrepreneurs, because we're in that rat race. And for the first time in 7 years, I sat down, did nothing, didn't answer my phone, didn't get on social.
In 7 years.
In 7 years.
Wow.
You know me, I've been going.
You've been going.
Even on vacation, I'm at work.
Crazy.
And for the first time, I just posted this morning, for 43 days, that's how long I didn't own my company, right? For 43 days, I got super, super still and did nothing. And that probably was the best reset of my life.
Wow.
So, okay, explain how you didn't own your company.
So the
Because some people were
I was
confused.
because I'm like, no, she do own. Like I'm arguing with somebody. Like, no, she does own it. Like, I think she's trying to like restructure, rebrand. So tell us.
Yeah,
about
it's
it.
funny that you said that, because business is very complex. And if you don't know much about business, it'll feel a little bit confusing. So the company went through a global restructure. And what a global restructure means is that somebody comes in because your debt is too high. And I've always been very open about this. Like, for the life of Slutty Vegan, I've made probably like $70 million, right?
Wow.
But my debt is high, so you can make all the money in the world. But if your debt is high, it don't mean nothing, because that bottom line, if it don't look green, it look red. You understand what I'm saying? And mine looked red a lot. And not because, you know, there were a lot of things that happened, a lot of variables, talent, changes in the economy and the business. And it was too much to handle when I came back in the company in January 2024. And it was just like, it was a sinking ship that I could not keep putting water out of the ship. So I surrendered to a restructure. And that was very difficult to do, because you got this doted brand that everybody loves and respects. And, you know, you don't want to publicly tell the world that, hey, I have to start over and I have to restructure.
Right.
Now, my business stayed open throughout that restructure.
Okay.
We did not close, except for a couple of them. I woke up and looked at the news. I'm like, Spelman closed today. What happened?
They didn't tell you?
No.
So, and I know you say you are very transparent about your journey, about your walk. What made you decide to be public about you losing the company?
I've always been a transparent entrepreneur. You know this, right?
100%.
Like I've always been transparent, and oftentimes people just see the lights, right? They see the accolades, they see the accomplishments, they see the name on the door, but there's a lot of sleepless nights that come with entrepreneurship. There's a lot of times where you're like, I don't even want to do this no more, and I can't pick up the phone and be like, let me hold $10 million, I'll pay you back in 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? So like, it's just me and my pillow and God, and I feel like I could save so many other entrepreneurs, right? If they hear this cautionary tale and also learn from what I've been through, and it will save you a whole lot of time. And at the end of the day, I know whose I am.
I know that's right.
Okay?
I say that all the time.
So no matter what it is, it ain't just on me, it's in me. And I know that I have a gift, and I know that I'm special, and my transparency will really save somebody's life professionally and personally.
So you lost it, and then you bought it back.
In 43 days.
I know that's right.
Wow.
4 + 3 is 7, the number of completion in 43 days.
And you feel like you know more now?
Do I know more?
Yeah.
What? I went to Clark Atlanta and I went to Harvard, okay? Like, money can't pay for the level of education that I got. When I first started business, I didn't know about equity. I didn't know about safe notes. I didn't know how to navigate with investors. I didn't know how to do none of that. But now I'm a scholar. And while I'm still a student, I have the educational wherewithal to be able to say, all right, I'm doing this. No, I'm not doing that. And when I think about getting in business with other people, it is a professional marriage.
Yes.
Oh,
And
yeah.
now I get to decide who I want to lay in bed with professionally.
Boy.
And that is very important when you're an entrepreneur, when you're growing and scaling, because you'll look up one day and be divorced and like, damn, what happened?
What happened?
You
I
understand
know.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
so
I
I'm
I
happy.
remember when when I finally had to close Frank Ski's, and I look back on it, and I told my story on social media, and so many people hit me, was like, thank you. Like, it was therapy, right?
Yeah.
And I realized, looking back, there was so much I didn't know that I was learning on the job, and I'm like, this is no joke.
Yeah.
This is it looks
game.
fun and glamorous and glitzy, but at the end of the day, you like shucking and jiving and moving, and then at the same time, you got the vultures behind you and the people stealing and everybody that wants your stuff, and
Yes.
you know what I mean? And people
Yes.
that you trusted with your life really didn't like you.
Yes.
You go-
Okay, I'm giving you the political version
Right,
now.
right,
Okay,
right.
I'm keeping it professional, but yes.
Yes.
Same exact
And the
thing.
people you trust the most were the ones that took so much.
Now, listening to all this, I have never owned a restaurant, but for people who want to be entrepreneurs, who wants to own a restaurant, who wants to continue business,
Or just a business.
in this economy, what's your advice for them?
Are you ready to get ugly?
Ooh.
Because it gets ugly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people only talk about that one side, but entrepreneurship gets ugly. Can you imagine paying $80,000 a week
Oh my
in
God.
payroll?
No, I can't.
without no institutional capital.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
It gets ugly. But there's something called risk and reward, and it's the cost of doing business. And I couldn't see myself doing anything else. Like, if you'd have saw me 43 days ago, I almost lost my mind.
Really?
Literally, I almost lost my mind. But that is when I met God. And sometimes you never realize how you get to meet your higher power. And it may come in the most unconventional circumstances. And it came by way of a restructure at Slutty Vegan. So if you want to do this work, make sure that you are spiritually tapped in. Okay?
That
Make
part.
sure that you literally like pray to something or somebody.
That part.
And that you understand that you are going to make mistakes. There are going to be hiccups. You might get a lot of money and you might lose a lot of money in the process. But as long as you got a peace within yourself, you'll be all right.
I love it.
Okay, tell your husband it's largemouth bass season. Tell him I said I'm coming for
He
him.
listening to this right now. Talking
Tell
about
him
he was
I'm
going
coming
fishing
for you.
today.
I'm coming for you, homie. Listen, thank you so much, Pinky, for coming in. Any
Absolutely,
last words for the?
Go to Slutty Vegan and support.
Okay.
I ain't got no. Otis. Oh, I do want to say this. I bought my company back under the name Ain't Nobody Coming to See You, Otis.
Oh, yeah, you did. You really did. And I said, I had to read it like twice, and I read it again.
You know,
I'm like, is this really a real
Yes,
thing?
it's real. And every
Okay.
time I called the bank, they start laughing. And I did that because I realized that people love Slutty Vegan because they love me.
Yeah.
They
And
do.
that ain't never going to change.
That part.
So if you are listening to this, make sure that you go to Slutty Vegan. Okay, so I can pay these bills.
That's right.
And support. We're going to have a re-grand opening. I got a lot of great things coming and a lot of really, really big
We got your
announcements.
back.
And I'm just excited for 2.0 and what it all has to offer.
I'm
All
excited
right,
for
it's
you,
People
too.
Station V103.